Okay, hello there, everyone. Welcome to our special webcast today. This one's titled Backstage Pass, and it's a first look at VectorVest's Las Vegas investment seminar and let a little cat out of the bag early, live stream. So what a wonderful opportunity for everybody out there. We're going to be discussing the pros and cons of each and, all the fun stuff that's going to be a part of this flagship event. Make no mistake, this is the biggest, best seminar that VectorVest has ever produced, and we're excited to be bringing it out to the Las Vegas area of the country and to the beautiful Venetian Resort and Hotel there, as well as casino, of course. And so this is an event that you don't want to miss. Heck, bring a friend, watch the live stream together. Whatever the case may be, it's going to be a great opportunity for one and all. And so that would give us the opportunity to not only change your life, but also change theirs. And make no mistake, that's the business that we're in here at VectorVest, is changing lives. And we can do that through really accelerating your investing strategy. So let's move on. The question becomes, why go? Why bring a friend? Why go to all this trouble? Well, quite simply, to better secure your or their financial future, whether that be help put the kids through college or retire more comfortably, whatever the case might be for you. And for many of us who went before you, we wanted to learn how to do better than just keep our head above water. We wanted to learn how to outperform just buying a little bit of the S&P every month and, living on sort of an average return in the stock market. And so we wanted to learn how to turn that around and thrive so that we could do a lot better than that. And so we hope that you feel the same way too. And if you do, we can get you in a position where you can learn about strategies and techniques like this one. We wanted well better than average stock market returns so that we could sleep at night. And, we wanted to do so consistently, right? And so we ultimately, what we really want is we want techniques and strategies that work, and that have worked not just now, but year after year after year after year. So that's what we're going to be learning about at this particular course. And really what you're going to learn is there's more than one way to get all the way to grandma's house. So we're going to be having discussions about things that range from more aggressive type strategies to get the job done all the way up to very retirement-minded solutions that can get the job done for you as well. All right, so the problem for many of us is that, we get inundated. We get buried in information. Today, like no day before. So there's investment newsletters and all the celebrities and so forth on TV. And just, all this information is coming at us at just such a rapid, it's like a blizzard. It's just coming at it. It's inundating us if we're not careful. And so you get overloaded, right? And so our objective here is to eliminate that big mistake. The biggest mistake of all that keeps people from being successful. And that is getting buried by that data, and maybe even worse yet, following complicated strategies. It's unfortunate, but just sort of as humans, we latch onto this idea that with complication comes added value. And I've met a lot of interesting folks over the years. I really and truly have, in my 25 years of getting out on the road and doing this kind of thing. I had one gentleman bring me up this 25-page document on how he goes about trading the market every single day. And I said, my gosh, how in the heck do you have the perseverance to do that every single day? It's just unbelievable. But, what I've really found is that any good, logical, systematic way in making money in the stock market really just needs to achieve three main goals. And of course, it doesn't need to be all that complicated with how you treat each of those three things. And ultimately, it's when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell it in the future. Ultimately, those are big parts of the solution. And of course, we're going to be talking about options and things like that while we're at the 2 days. So we'll get there in a bit. but ultimately it does not need to be complicated. In fact, I've actually found over my 25 years that the simpler the better. And so we're going to be showing very simple, very effective solutions that are not complicated. They're very easy. Anybody can do them. Okay. And so that's how we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it by showing you these plans so that you can continue to do them in the future. And what really delights me the most is we're really going to be showing the same plans that we've been showing for several, if not many, I guess, actually at this point, years in a row, that just continue to keep clicking and just continue to keep working. And so everybody should be doing well who has attended this event. And my hope is that for you guys, we can fix it for you if it hasn't been fixed already, so that you can have that experience going forward. Okay, so the whole trick is to follow a simple, proven system and stick to it. And what you're going to be able to do and see at the show is you're going to learn this from the experts, people who have done it before you, VectorVest has made them successful, thereby giving you the opportunity to do it for yourself. And you'll have also the opportunity to continue to latch onto them as coaches in the future to help you continue to do that on a go-forward basis. So we're going to talk a lot about all of that at the show. One of the things that really I feel great about here at VectorVest is we've given you more and more access to our key people here so that you guys can build off of their success. It has been absolute joy now that it's been released. I feel really great about that. So we're going to make a big deal about it here. You're going to learn all about successful investing. It is the core, essential, true beliefs of the VectorVest philosophy on how to make money in the stock market. We're going to be buying good stocks that have tremendous track records of success by way of their earnings. They make money quarter after quarter after quarter, year after year after year. And then it's just about, Todd has a great way of going through and identifying the ones that he feels the best about based upon the history that they display in VectorVest and based upon their current, VectorVest scores, if you will, and really putting them into a well-balanced portfolio that's got a really nice simple criteria to tell you when to get out of one of those ones that's kind of dragging things down a little bit and get in a better one, and just keep that boat moving nicely down the water month after month, year after year. So this is, his goal is to make about 15% a year or so, and doing it as simple as possible. And he's been able to achieve those results, and people have been able to watch it in real time as he's been doing it. And so that's wonderful. He's going to be sharing with you his approach. It's a VectorVest approach, but his section of the VectorVest approach called Successful Investor while you're there, and you can see he's been doing quite well. This is Retirement Services. Retirement Services, we have some new leadership there, obviously, and unfortunately, with the passing of a dear friend of mine and my golf buddy and the whole bit. Todd Schaefer and now Ron Wheeler have come into Retirement Services, and you're going to be learning about how we're carrying the torch forward and ensuring that we deliver on retirement services the way that we have always done in the past. And that is superior performance by way of not only capital appreciation, but also still trying to get in some reasonably good dividend income. I say reasonably good because I still remember the days when you could get a 10 or 12% dividend. Those days are yield, and those days are gone. I don't know about gone for good, but seemingly at this point, it's been, 50 years since that's been the case. But getting some dividend income in there, but also showing you how to use options to generate even more and get that income stream up to snuff, get it up to where it needs to be to make sure that you can do the things that you want to do. So it's not just about capital appreciation, but that's why only the short track record here. This is just really kind of since things have been turned over, okay? And it's not showing a lot of the dividend income or option income or anything of that nature either. And it's not all the way up to date and all that kind of stuff. But it just gives you, kind of a glimpse. And this is our swing trading coaching, which is ultimately Jerry D'Ambrosio. I'm in there quite often as well. But this is his live trading performance, live through a brokerage, just as with all of our other coaching at this point. And boy, I tell you, he's been hitting the cover off the ball for the last couple of years now. And really exceeding our wildest expectations almost at this point. I mean, he's kicking back, 40% annualized rates of return in spades right now. So that is a sight to behold, because it's really, really stunning performance. So he's going to be delivering a couple of keynote speeches here or presentations here at the show as well, and detailing some of the most effective swing trading practices that he's been doing to achieve these kinds of results. And that is absolutely blow the doors off of the stock market. So that's wonderful. On top of that, we'll walk through some of the other key highlights. I can't show the techniques today. I hope nobody gets upset with that, because if I was doing that, we wouldn't need to do the 2-day investment seminar to begin with, right? So all I can do is just kind of whet your appetite, get you excited about it as best I can, and hope to see you there. I mean, that's really my objective in this webcast today. I hate it as much as maybe some of you guys and gals might as well, because I'm a coach at heart. I love to teach people, and I like to try to teach people to be successful every time I get the chance. The way I could to try to do that today is to get you to this event, because I know if I get you there, we will. So once again, Venetian Resort, September 21st. If you're not going to be able to attend live, which I would encourage that you do, we'll talk more about that at the end. Again, it will be live streamed. Okay, it will also be recorded, and all that fun stuff. All right, so let's talk. I'm going to try to break this into chunks instead of go through each and every single individual presentation and tell you the nuts and bolts of all of that. I think that just keeps us here even a little bit longer than we need to be. This morning is all really about successful investor when you boil it all down. That's what it's really about. It's about giving you the core philosophies. It's about getting you headed down the right path. This section here is important for anyone who hasn't found success or just started with VectorVest. This is where you want to spend your time. I mean, this is your focus while you're at this event. Okay. As we get into the afternoon, we start getting into other areas. So we're going to get into ETFs. ETFs are becoming so popular. It is stunning. I think that there might be a day in the future, based upon the growth that we've seen, where there might actually end up being more ETFs than stocks. I mean, it is mind-blowing when you get in there and look at all the different ETFs and things that are available now, and the volumes. I mean, ETFs are now trading to the tune of $10 trillion a year. Isn't that something? I mean, that is stunning, right? So we're going to have a couple of really great presentations centered around that. And of course, the Wrightsmiths Nitro and Turbo are going to be some of the headline stories there. But there's a lot to learn about just the growth and the attractiveness and the different core methodologies that VectorVest has. We're going to be showing 4 really simple approaches that one can do with ETFs. So there's more than the Wrightsmiths strategies and Ellis on the Turbo that we'll be talking about at the show. Okay. On top of that, we end that day with a situational approach. So we break VectorVest down into certain situations that might be best for you, whether it's buy and hold, bottom fishing, and anything in between. We kind of we attack VectorVest from its grassroots from those perspectives. So that's investing with precision, tailoring your strategies to the market. What you want to do is identify the right situation to do the right thing. And when you do that, you can get spectacular results, particularly with bottom fishing but many others that we'll be showing there as well. All right, morning of day 2. This is when we get into retirement services, and then also begin to get into swing trading. So I love kicking off the morning of day 2 with retirement services. I think that's something that, whether you realize it or not, no matter how young or how old you are, you want to be concerned with retirement, and you want to have at least a portion of your capital dedicated to that. And so this should come after successful investor, perhaps, for most people. But once you get pretty comfortable there and you want to really start, solidifying a retirement-minded portfolio, this is kind of the next evolution. And you want to get into the first presentation here, dig in there. And also that second one with options kind of piggybacks on top, because we do a little bit of options discussion in the retirement part, but also there's some great strategies that Ron Wheeler, who's going to be with us, is going to share by way of creating additional income. on that second presentation. So it's really great. On top of that, we're going to do some near perfect indicator. I absolutely have to do that. And afternoon of day 2, we'll finish up with the swing trading presentations and then move into giving you the plan of action for the following week. So one of the things that we're trying to make sure we do is that you're going to learn a lot of information while you're here. Some of you might feel a little overwhelmed. So what we're going to do at the very end is try to bring you back into focus on what you feel is going to be the best way for you to proceed from there, and give you guidance then based upon that, what you should be thinking about doing Monday, the following week. So this will be a little bit of a different event for us. I think this is the first time in a long while we've done sort of a Saturday, Sunday event. I love that. I think it gives more people a chance to get there. Signups have been very strong so far. We're pretty excited about that, and we hope that that's going to continue on. And so let's talk a little bit about, well, first, before I was going to do the next thing, let's talk about my man, Abe Lincoln. So he said, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree. I'll spend the first 4 hours sharpening my axe. This is something that I've used my entire life, whether it's sports or finance or, computers or anything. I've found a lot of value in learning what needs to be learned before I started doing it, And so the proposition here is actually better than Abe's. Abe had to work awfully hard just to get ready to chop down the tree. But it was smart. Me living out in the country, I tried to take an axe to one of the 60-foot tall trees that fell across my driveway one time, and it would have taken me like all day to chop through that thing. So I got the chainsaw out, and that was done in 30 minutes. But it's basically the proposition here at this show is spend 2 days for the rest of your life. I'm gonna say that again. Spend 2 days for the rest of your life. I mean, that's much better than 4 hours for 2. So I would think about it. I would definitely think about it, and I would get there if you could. We're going to talk about why here in a sec. So we have the VIP in-person experience. We're going to call it that because you get a chance to rub elbows with us, but more importantly, actually, in my mind, you're going to get a chance to rub elbows and talk with some of our very, very best subscribers who have made an awful lot of money with VectorVest over the years. And I think to some degree, some of you will find more value in even that, because these are people just like you, and for whatever reason, sometimes I think folks who attend seminars think, these guys sound good, but are they really doing it? And all this stuff. And there's no amount of convincing that'll convince them otherwise. So it's great for you to get there, rub elbows with some of our power users, learn from them as well. So you'll have opportunities we're all going to be in Vegas Strip. There's going to be meet and greets that we'll try to schedule and things like that, where we can get together even after the show and stuff while we're there. So, and you can always catch us on the breaks, before and after the event, during lunch, and before and after the special presentation and all that kind of stuff. So it just creates a lot more opportunity for you to get the right answer that you're really seeking out. Having said that, and that's www.vectorvest.com/Vegas. That's to attend in person. I'll put that out into the chat now so that on GoToWebinar, you guys have that. If you're on YouTube, my assumption, I don't have the ability to chat in there, but my assumption is you're going to be deft enough to get over to VectorVest.com/Vegas and sign up, okay? When we get to the next one here, that's just a couple of nice screenshots of the Venetian. It is beautiful. I've been to Vegas 50 times at least, and that's not an exaggeration. It's one of my favorites. I mean, it really is. It's a great hotel. It's just as beautiful inside as it is out. This is a picture of the gondolas. I almost forgot what you call them, the gondolas. And boy, I tell you, if you're lucky to be there with a significant other, something of that nature, I would not miss the opportunity to get on those. It's spectacular. It's spectacular. When I was there with just the guys, we kind of passed on it. But if I was there with a significant other, this is a can't miss thing. But the real can't miss thing is the content. You know it. So that means hopefully that's why you're going to be there to begin with. So here's a look at your primary speakers. You're going to have Ray, myself, Ron, and Jerry. Todd will be porting in from Charlotte for his presentation, I believe. But, you know, you're going to get the education you need from the people you need to get it from. That's the bottom line. And so Las Vegas, September 2021, and you can come in person for the low price right now of $95. And let me tell you something. I always make this claim every time I do this webcast that price doesn't even cover food and beverage. I'm not sure it covers food and beverage day one in Vegas. The numbers out there are stunning. My goodness gracious. Bunch of crooks. I'm serious, man. It's crazy. But anyway, $95 to get there. You know why we do that? I'll give you a little secret. If you spend $95, you're going to show up. That's the bottom line. Even just that little tiny bit, you're going to show up. You do it for free, you ain't coming. Most of you. That's the way that goes. It's mind-blowing. It's stunning. Those are just the facts. So you give us $95, we know you're going to be there. That's it. That's why we do it. All right. You got a little secret for me today. You never know what you're going to find out. Or you can attend for free on the stream, but you better show up. Nice thing about the stream is you can do it from the comfort of your own living room if you want to do that, or the beautiful beaches of the South Pacific, whatever the case may be. I don't know. You know, you can tune in and you can get the content that you need. All right. So in person, $95, can't miss event. I already gave you some of the great reasons as to why to go. Beautiful city, beautiful hotel, lots of fun to be had in Vegas, lots of great company. Power users are going to be there, top VectorVest's instructors, and veterans and people who have made lots of money in the stock market using VectorVest are going to be there, whether it's us or those power users. This is a can't miss event. You got to get there. I can't do anything else to do it. If you want to do better than average stock market returns, this is the place you want to go. And whether you are aggressive, conservative, prudent, or even the dreaded speculator, we're going to show you how to get the job done. Okay? So get there or be square. We'll see you soon. See if there's any quick questions. Looks like Thad has been diligently answering them along the way, so I think we're in pretty good shape. And I see some very familiar names in the chat. That's great. So it's not just in person, it's also webcast. Yeah, it's also webcast. All right, guys. So that's it. Quickie today. I'm not going to keep you here if we're not going to actually be teaching. So I'm going to let you get on your way. Thanks for being here with me today, and I hope to see you there. I really do. We have such a great time, and I always like to see the smiling faces and spend some time with and you know, tell you how much we appreciate our core subscribers. Okay, so love you guys. See you soon. Good luck out there, VV Nation. Get to Vegas. I want to see you there. Bye now. See you soon. Yes, we still are doing the Tampa event in January, I believe. It might be pushed a little later, but we are doing Tampa. Okay? Good luck.